Good evening, everybody. This is Draft Central on TeamMBSmedia.com's YouTube channel and on X and all that other fun sort of stuff. It's going to be a very interesting draft. We've also seen the free agency mess that has occurred with Max Crosby. Go ahead and tell everybody what you think about this Max Crosby deal, Bill.
So, because I have been a fan of the Steelers for now 56 years. Oh, no, not quite that. 50.
You're a youngin'. You're a young.
Not quite 56. Yeah. Hold on, 50. Let's see, what year is this? 54. Let me see. Do some math. Yeah, 54 years. So, I have had a keen interest in what the other teams, obviously in the central turned north, have done, and they tend to mirror each other in certain ways, right? This team does that, then this team does that to counter. This was going to be a huge move, and Eric DeCosta, who's generally speaking, I think they have a placard over their offices in the front office that say the right player at the right price, right? The Ravens truly value, and so when you see someone who loves draft picks as much as Eric DeCosta goes to sleep to calculating draft compensation pick formulas, right? That's how he goes to sleep at night. So to see him move not one, but 2 first-round draft picks tells you that they are departing from the norm. This is a team that, I don't know if there's a team that prizes draft picks more than the Ravens. So to see them do this told you something.
They have moved in round 1. They've moved up and down.
Yes.
But they have not gotten rid of a first-round pick.
Right.
And now we get rid of 2 first-round picks. That
right.
was a shocker.
So in the history of the franchise, they had never unloaded a first-round pick, and they just unloaded 2. Let you know that this is their declaration of we're winning the Super Bowl this year, right? Anything less, I mean, every team wants to do that, but like this is saying, channeling is in our less need, F these picks, right? So I think in a deep, dark moment like that what they call like deep, dark night of the soul, as this is happening, I think he felt like he'd been thrown like a life raft, right? He'd been thrown like a parachute, like a escape hatch. When they looked, it's like, well, you're 8 weeks out from a meniscus surgery and your knee is still inflamed and a little stiff. And Eric DeCosta was like, well, check, please. That's enough for me.
and as well, Dr. Cooper from Dallas also asked about Max Crosby's knee. This is why the Ravens medical staff, and yes, the medical staff did not make any release about it being a medical issue. It was done through the media because of HIPAA regulations. Medical teams and trainers are bound by HIPAA law.
Correct.
So that's why that release came out yesterday the way that it did. It was done by a lawyer and the PR people, and that was it.
Yep.
You can be all upset about it all you guys want. But again, as I said last night, if you're not healthy enough to be traded, that's it. It's going to be gone.
Yeah, I mean, I get that when it comes down to it, but they shouldn't have thrown the 2 first because all 32 teams knew it. So that's where my main issue lies, and my Buffalo Bills is coming out on me. Is the reason that Buffalo didn't get Max Crosby was because our first round pick was later than the 14, right?
Yep.
So then at this point, when that deal was done, then a lot of teams who needed pass rushers had to pivot and move away from Max Crosby and figure out what they want to do. And then the Ravens hogged up Trey Hendrickson at the same time So then they can pick and choose while the other teams are just kind of fending to figure them out. A la paying $30 million a year for Jalen Phillips in Carolina. And things like that is where, like, there's a trickle-down effect to it that I don't appreciate the national media not talking about.
And again, this should be a case. This should be a case of the Ravens who the guy is 8 weeks out of surgery. We know he's not going to be back until June or July.
Right.
That's the earliest time frame for Max Crosby to be coming back out on to a practice field and all that other jazz.
Correct.
Okay. Why are you giving up 2 first-round picks and then taking them away when you already knew he's going to be not available till June or July? That makes zero sense to me. And to go out and get Hendrickson right afterwards, to me, that is collusion. It sucks. And the Ravens should lose their first-round pick. That should be the punishment. They should lose that first-round pick.
I wish it was possible.
Yeah, but again, the NFL, no, we can't do that. No.
Well, I mean, what they did was completely within the rules. Now, now what you can say is maybe it should not be. So for those who want, you said that it's not being talked about enough. I don't know how many of you follow Tom Compton, the former linebacker turned.
Will Compton?
Will Compton, sorry.
Oh, he's about it. Yeah.
Yes, okay, you know what I'm talking about there. He's on the case. He is. He's on the case. He's got a whiteboard, he's got strings, he's got sticky notes. So yes, he's all over it. What did the Ravens know and when did they know it? So I mean, we'll be talking about this sometimes, seriously, sometimes more jocularly, but we'll be talking about this probably all season, maybe even beyond it. Mm-hmm. The fact is that Max Crosby is beyond just a really good football player. He's a great football player, but he also is a tone setter, right? That's the thing about him is you're getting him not just because when the Ravens last won Super Bowls, and I don't think this is a coincidence, they had a great football player who was also one of those guys that everyone was afraid to disappoint. His name was Ray Lewis, right? And
no, don't give me Ray Lewis BS. Terrell Suggs was a beast of a guy as well.
Yes,
the entire Ravens defense was a total beast.
They were great, right? And they had other great players that people didn't talk about on that team. I'm not suggesting that Ray Lewis carried them to a Super Bowl either of the times. What I'm suggesting is that the standard setter, no offense to the coaching staff, was Ray Lewis, right? Mm-hmm. The person that everyone was nervous about not practicing hard enough or not playing hard enough to please was Ray Lewis. And the coaching staff encouraged that, in fact. They wanted everyone to be a little bit afraid of Ray. So the thing about a guy like Max Crosby, not comparing him to Ray Lewis as a player, but he also, now obviously it's a different situation. I mean, he comes from a franchise where he was the only one that anybody had respect for. So it's a little different. But still, he's stepping into a situation where he has automatic bona fides. Everyone, his street cred, or whatever you want to call it, is like here, right? It's about as high as it can go. So that's the other thing you're factoring in when you're making a deal for a guy like him is if you also want that person that pushes everybody, right? That person that everybody wants to kind of try to impress. That's the other thing you get when you get a guy like Double X Max. And once again, his story is a great story. First time I heard his name was from his older brother, Miles, who is now a model, who was the higher ranked prospect of the two, believe it or not. Ended up playing safety for a couple years at SMU. Signs with, I think, Ford or whatever modeling agency, gives up football. But he always talked about his little brother, who was a 1 or 0 star recruit at the time. And, obviously we see where he is now. So I've known about Max since he's about 15. And it's an amazing story, obviously, this guy that overcomes so many things, some of them self-inflicted, some of them not, to get to where he is. I think that what's going to happen is there's going to be unwritten rules type stuff, right? I think that a lot of other teams are going to try to find some way to exact, maybe not a pound of flesh, maybe an ounce, right? Maybe by, putting a little extra.
There's not just teams who are going to be doing this. The agents are doing this.
Yes.
And I'm certain that the agent who was talked about on Good Morning Football this morning was Mr. Mulligetta at Athletes First, who was basically said to all of his other agents, you are not dealing with the Ravens. Done. We are not going to deal with that BS. So again,
There will be fallout. Yes,
there will be some fallout here for the Ravens to deal with here. So let's drop the Crosby DF here. The Cowboys traded Oso Odigizua, and they have a 3rd round pick. That is a good thing for the Cowboys. That's all I care about today. That's it. That's it.
I'm excited about Bradley Chubb, of course. I think that was a deal, though. $14 million.
Yeah,
has a better production in the last 2 years over Phillips. Over those 25+ edge rushers that were in free agency. So Brandon Beane got a deal there.
Yeah. I mean, the only thing I'm not trying to traumatize you again, Randall, but the only question is
that's
health,
okay.
What's
that?
I love him. The only question, of course, is health.
Right.
If he can
100%.
stay healthy. I know that's been kind of an issue with some of your pass rushers in the past.
That's correct. Yeah. It's the cold weather. I swear, it's the cold weather and pass rushing.
Gee, will the new stadium help this? I don't know.
It's heated, right? The grass is heated.
Yeah, the grass is heated. So,
and the Buffaloes are large, so that'll avoid the injury.
For all of that. So basically, our first draft show tonight has no trades.
So far, right? Yes, this version, yeah.
Yes, this version has no trades in it. So basically, I think what we basically did was we went to our mock draft sites and ran what we wanted to run and da. I know I did 10 different mock drafts, and this is what I settled on. I kind of went with what the computers are saying that the teams are going to take, plus my BPAs, right? Our first 2 picks, Fernando Mendoza and Arvell Reith. That's it. We're done.
Makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Jets is BPA.
Yeah.
Raiders need a quarterback.
Yeah.
Now, what I've seen in the mocks that I've been running is the Cardinals taking the right tackle from Miami.
Oh wow!
I've seen a lot of them. So that's why I put him up to 3rd. It could happen.
No, it could, but that shows you the plate tectonics are changing.
Oh yeah.
The best right tackle in the world wouldn't go above like 11 or 12 not that long ago.
Kind of my thoughts, yeah.
Yeah. Right? But again, and as I mentioned in the DM room earlier here, I am so sick and tired. Did you see the numbers of the quarterbacks from 2010 to 2019 in the DM room, Randall?
Almost all of them.
Did.
Yes.
Yeah.
And there's only 3 of them that are with their same teams that were in the first round picks.
Yes, correct.
Right.
Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, and who else was it?
Lamar.
That's it.
That's the list.
I'm so sick and tired of this NFL and the whole media guys going, you got to draft a quarterback. You got to draft a quarterback. Da. How many times are these quarterbacks actually sticking with these teams? Not very much. Don't draft a quarterback early unless you got an offensive line. Period.
Right.
If you don't have a line,
you know how to develop quarterbacks, which a lot of people
and you're not desperate to keep your job. And I personally don't see that ever changing because a quarterback saves coaches' jobs and they're selfish. That's what it comes down to. And fairly selfish. It's your salary, and that's what you have to do. I don't care. I don't care about a quarterback having a 5th-year option. If I want a 5th-year option guy, I want a wide receiver, a corner, a left tackle, a right tackle. I'm with you on that. Or the edge guy. That's who I want having the 5th round option on. It doesn't. You don't need the quarterback.
Well, the other reason I think this doesn't matter as much as people pretend it matters. If a guy's really good, by the into the 3rd year, you're doing his deal anyway. What are we talking about?
It's like the back half. The back half of the first is
anyway.
Right. Yeah. The back half of the first is good because really most teams don't have 1st-round grades past pick 21, pick 22. Correct. So that's the ability to use your 5th-year option in that back half, 100%.
Yeah.
Now you 2 gentlemen went with David Bailey for the Cardinals.
Yes.
Yes.
They need pass rush.
Whereas
they need. Yeah.
Whereas I chose Mr. Bailey to the Tennessee Titans at 4.
The Titans would thank you graciously for that, Greg. Yeah. They would love that.
Yeah,
for sure.
Now, you go ahead and give us your 4th pick there, Randall.
I went pass rush as well, and I went Reuben Bain.
Reuben Bain.
I think they've done a pretty good job in free agency. As we know, the Titans ownership's pretty impatient, so they just went ham. So take BPA in a good positional value, top 5 pick. Imagine Reuben Bain.
Yeah.
And Bill, what did you take for the Titans?
Ditto. I'll follow that cab. Yeah. Reuben Bain Jr. is also really good against the run. He can set hard edges. He can kick inside. He has a lot of this. You know, I've thrown the Trent Cole comp in his direction a couple of times, even though his arms are even shorter than Trent Cole's, and Trent Cole was not exactly a lengthy guy. But the fact is that Reuben Bain, other than being super long, gives you pretty much everything else you could ask for. He's got a high motor. He's smart. He's tough. He can, play a couple of, you can stand him up if you want to. You can kick him inside, and when you go into your dragster, stop, whatever you call that package where you just put pass rushers all over the place. And he can play a traditional defensive end as well as, he could do at least 3 different things at a fairly high level. I wouldn't drop him into coverage a lot, but everything else that you could ask from a guy like him, he can do.
And then at number 5, I believe Randall and myself both have Sonny Styles. What do you have, Bill?
Ditto. Yeah, I think
when they released their linebacker Okereke, I think that was just the sign right there, and then the combine.
Right, Bobby Okereke is a really good football player, but he's not Sonny Styles.
No,
right.
No, exactly right. Exactly right. All right. I took another tackle with the Browns pick because Shedeur or Deshaun Watson needs more protection. So I took Spencer Fano.
I went Monroe Freeling because I think the left tackle market is not a lot of supply for the demand. I think the Browns know that he's still a little bit of a project, but he will get ready for his 2027 quarterback for the Cleveland Browns. So just take advantage so nobody else takes him.
And who did you take there, Bill?
And I don't like this pick, but it's the one I end up going with. It's Carnell Tate. I'm not as high personally myself on Carnell Tate as apparently most of everyone else is, but I could see him ending up in Cleveland.
Okay. My next pick was Reuben Bain to the Commanders. But who did you guys take for the Commanders?
I love that we both had the same answer here with Jeremiah Love. I think Jeremiah Love is perfect with Jaden Daniels.
See, he's my next pick. I have him going. To the Saints.
Pairing up with they just got Etienne, right?
Yeah, they just got Etienne. I think Love and Etienne as a combination would be a very good thing for the Saints. But
that'd be wild.
Who do you guys have going for the Saints?
I have Jordan Tyson.
Okay.
I went Carnell Tate. I think they need another weapon on the outside to make sure Shuck can succeed in that year 2 and keep them going.
And I have Carnell Tate going to the Chiefs at 9.
Carnell Tate?
Yeah.
Makes sense for the outside for Kansas City. I get that for sure. They're pretty bare in the DBs.
I know, but again, I just Carnell Tate was there, and good Lord, does Patrick Mahomes need another good target? And
wait for him to be able to sit in the pocket.
We've discussed this secondary we've discussed the safeties class already, and this is a deep safety class. It is pretty decent in the corner as well. So you don't have, and they also have a pick later on in the round as well, right?
Good point. Good point.
Right. The Bengals, I went a little off the wall here, and I said Caleb Banks. I just think that Banks is such a fun athlete.
Open up Shamar Stewart.
Yeah, well, somebody has to.
Right. He needs to perform for the Bengals to be good. Is Shamar Stewart.
Well, I don't see that happening, but okay.
But I think Caleb Banks is a good idea, though. I get it.
Who do you guys have going to the Bengals?
I had Downs to the Chiefs and Caleb Lomu to the Bengals.
Okay, and then And you same thing?
Caleb Downs to the Chiefs makes sense. Caleb Lomo for the tackle position also makes sense for them. Because, Joe Burrow can't get hurt again.
Now, for all of you Cowboys Nation fans out there, these two gentlemen have destroyed the NFL draft. They have no idea what they're talking about. It is just ridiculous. But, we'll get there. Number 11, I have Mansour Delane going to the Dolphins.
Oh, I like that. That's good. Solid.
Same.
You got Mansour Delane as well, right?
Yeah, for the Dolphins, they need some they need boundary CB help all day.
Yeah. And who did you pick for them, Bill?
Let's see. I have to reduce this in size slightly. I had Ty Simpson.
Ooh.
Oh, okay. Well, that's off the window now because they've gotten Malik and they've got Quinn Ewers as the backup. So Ty Simpson's not going to go to the Dolphins. I'm sorry.
We'll see. Browns thing, you just collect a bunch of quarterbacks.
Yeah, that is the Packers' philosophy, right? Draft a quarterback every year.
Right.
If I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
I got a question, Bill, because I think you might be the only one with Ty Simpson in the first. I don't have Ty Simpson in the first.
Oh, I first round grade on him, but
no. Okay, because there's a lot of talk about Dan Orlovsky saying that Ty Simpson's tape is better than Fernando Mendoza, and you have him there because in there, and I'd maybe like your opinion, a little quip on that if you feel if they're at all similar. Because I don't.
What drugs are these people on? I want to know.
Clickbait. It's called the drug. Is called clickbait,
and that's exactly all that is a bunch of clickbait. Holy moly!
I will say Dan Orlovsky stands on his arguments.
He does.
He does.
He's a nut job. He is truly a nut job.
I don't know. I kind of like Dan Orlovsky.
I just think he falls in love with certain things, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Bingo.
Right.
When a guy has certain things, what is it? I like my quarterbacks more quarterbacky, right? Certain people, I love when people say things like that. But certain people like arm strength, which I'm not saying it's not important, but it definitely dissuades people. The whole Zach Wilson experience should have told people that arm strength, while it is important, it is not everything. It is not even the most important thing when evaluating quarterbacks. And Dan Orlovsky, he doesn't have a pretty strong arm himself.
No,
should understand that you can be a successful quarterback without having a super strong arm. Ty Simpson's ceiling, in my opinion, is Derek Carr. If everything works out,
that's smart,
right? If everything happens, now, I like Malik Willis, but he's got small sample size itis, kids. I mean, I don't think I'm saying anything that isn't just flat out true.
He's 3-3 as an NFL starter.
Right. Here's what I'm pointing out. Remember the Matt Flynn experience, everyone?
Oh, yeah.
I'm simply pointing out that just because, you got Quinn Ewers and you went out and got Malik Willis, I don't think that you can close the door on them drafting a quarterback. Maybe they don't do it in the first, but I still think they draft another quarterback.
Yeah. Well, that's why that's why I actually in a later round had Taylor Green. I had Green going to the Dolphins in a later round.
Oh,
you know me. I'm about that.
Yep, exactly. Now, for everybody out there, these two gentlemen selected a right tackle for the Cowboys. It is not going to happen. Okay?
Tell us why, Greg.
Because they already have 3 first-round picks on the line. They don't want another one. If you guys pick it at 20, that's okay, but not at 12. Okay. My guy at number 12 is Caleb Downs.
Oh.
Because I decided that the Washington Commanders still went with edge over the safety with the earlier pick. You guys have Downs going a little bit earlier than I do, but I have Downs.
I think if Downs makes it to the Cowboys, they'll take him. I just don't think he makes it to them.
Same.
In the mocks that I've been running, he's there.
Okay.
So, would you have taken Dylan Thieneman at 12? I was between, so I picked Francis Waga, basically his right tackle BPA at that point, because I think that's a good pick at 12 sort of thing with the player that he is. And and then I was in between him and Thieneman for the Cowboys.
Yeah, I think Thieneman ends up going where I have him going, and I think most everybody else does now as well.
Yeah,
we'll discuss Thieneman. Then I had the Rams taking Jermod McCoy.
Oh,
I don't know if it's going to happen or not. We'll see what happens with the Tennessee Pro Day.
Yep.
But again,
right.
yes, they got McDuffie. They
Right.
got the other corner as well from the Chiefs.
Yep.
They still need another corner.
Right.
So that's why I went with McCoy. Who did you guys select for the Rams?
I went with Mekhi Lemon. I think they had a weapon because they went heavy cornerback in the free agency market and traded. So they just get another weapon to add to it, get their own kind of Cooper Kupp back.
Yeah.
Right. Only faster and smaller. I went with Marone Freeling, who in my world is still on the board, and they could use an infusion of talent along that offensive line.
Yes. In many of the PFSN mocks, he is actually going as the 12th pick because nobody takes him, and they want him because the Houston Texans also would like him, and others further down the road. So the Rams move up and give the Cowboys a second-round pick as well for just the one pick as well. But again, we'll see what happens with this. I mean, this is going to be an insane draft. I don't care what anybody says.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, my next player going to the Ravens is the Penn State guard, Ione.
Oh, okay.
Makes the most amount of sense.
Well, they still need offensive line help. They got their edge guy that they need. So I went with the best guard of the bunch, Ione, to the Ravens. Mr. Bill, I think you went with the other side of the line.
I did. Sort of there's a couple. This is a really good defensive tackle class. But I think the guy that fits the Ravens are a team that has certain. I'm just going to take the straight, honest truth. They like big people to play big people positions. Like Aaron Donald, I'm sure they would have considered Aaron Donald, but he doesn't fit what they like, right? They don't like 280.
No.
Generously listed at 288, but he revealed later he played much of his career in the high 260s to the low to dual 270s at 3 tech. That's not their thing. They want 3 techs who are 312 pounds, right? Or somewhere in that range. They're like big at big positions. And Peter Woods, though his production dipped a little this year, is a big, strong, fast human being, and he fits what they like. I could see them dropping him into that defense and, frankly, him flourishing in their system.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
I went Max Ihine-Chor, which I wish I'm going to learn that by April. But he is a new to football, so I do think that there is a chance that he can start at guard and then be tackle depth.
Okay.
So then they get a little 2-for-1 there, and they're allowed to start him at guard and then have tackle depth.
Well, I have Max going a little bit later in this round.
Same here.
I actually have him going to your Steelers. Oh, but anyhow,
Sneak peek.
Yeah, sneak peek. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who lost Mike Evans, so I gave them Denzel Boston from Washington.
Huh.
I feel like they're going to fill it within, but that would be a good addition for sure. And we didn't think they were going to take a Mecca last year either.
Right. Yeah.
I didn't, at least.
I did. I knew that he was going to Tampa Bay because the Cowboys were no, they didn't do it, and he's off to Tampa Bay. That was it. Yeah. Who do you guys have going to Tampa Bay?
I have Keldrick Falk there. They have drafted a couple of young pass rushers, and the ones they've taken early have not panned out. The ones they've taken later in the draft have actually been fairly productive. But I think that they've decided to keep trying. And Falk is a slightly different type of guy than the guys they've tried in the past. And while, Tryon Soyinka and others didn't pan out, I mean, the last true pure pass rusher who really ended up being really good for them was Jason Pierre-Paul. That's a while back. But Yaya Diaby and other guys who went a little later have actually, done a little bit more recently. But I think that Falk gives them almost like a Carlos Dunlap type of guy, right? A big-bodied power guy who I think as he develops, especially if he's well coached, could end up being a guy that maybe not 10 sacks, but he could be an 8 to 9 sack a year guy.
There you go. And who did you take to that, Randall?
Yeah, I also did a weapon, but I went with Kenyon Sadiq. I think that they could use a dynamic tight end, and then in 12 personnel with Cade Otton works out. And that opens up the offense.
Yeah.
They have a lot of good tight ends in Tampa Bay. That would make another one.
I then went with Jordan Tyson.
Ooh. Okay. Man.
For the Jets?
That's an athletic tight end. That's an athletic wide receiver room. They toss Tyson in there with the guys they already have.
Well, I just, hey, they need somebody for Geno Smith to throw the football to. So
people start believing in Geno Smith again. I'm still a Geno truther.
Yeah.
Who do you guys have going to the Jets?
I've got Mekhi Lemon going there. So because in my world, Tyson's already gone. So Mekhi Lemon is the next best and maybe the even better fit for their particular offense, actually. Because he can work all three levels of the field pretty much equally well. He can do, all the little now screen stuff at a high level. He's a pretty good blocker for a guy his size also. He helps you a little bit in the run game. He can attack the middle of the field. He's not afraid to go into the places where pain lurks. For a guy his size, he's unusually good at contested balls, actually. And one of the top contested ball guys, and he's, 5'10" and change, I think. And then last but not least, he can still get deep on you, right? He's got enough speed that he can run away from enough people. So I think that he immediately helps Geno and then, their quarterback of the future, whoever that happens to be.
And then who did you take for them?
I solidified the interior for them with Vega Ione.
Okay, Vega Ione.
Yep.
Yeah. I then took the Canadian pass rusher, Akeem Messidor, to the Lions. I think we said this last year that Mr. Hutchinson needs assistance. Messidor would be a very, very good assistant to Hutchinson. So that was my pick at 17 for the Lions. Who did you guys take?
I have them shoring up their secondary for two reasons. As much as I may like people attacking the front, that's what I think, both on offense and defense. I want to start what I do. If you watched Detroit last year, they gave up a lot of big plays down the field. They were very vulnerable to tight ends, particularly tight ends who can run, and slot receivers, especially like once again, bigger slots. They just got hammered at times over the middle and then deep down the field.
Which surprises me because their defense goes against Amon St. Brown. And hello, do you not understand how
practice it?
Yeah, you practice it against this guy every day.
I'm guessing he tortures them in practice based on what I've seen. I'm guessing.
There's videos.
Exactly right. Who did you think
the Lions would help them?
For the Lions, Randall.
Yeah, I think Thieneman helps them both in the run and the pass.
Yeah, that's smart. I think that Terrion Arnold needs to get off the field. I was in the same boat as Bill, so I went Jermod McCoy.
Oh,
okay. All right. All right. Dylan Thieneman's gone. He's going to be the new Harrison Smith for the Vikings. It's that simple. I don't see any drafts now with anybody else but Dylan Thieneman going to the Vikings. So who did you guys put there?
Same. I think Flores would love Thieneman.
Yeah.
He would. But I think he'd also love Monsieur Delane. And one of my sort of surprising, I don't want to say falls. I mean, he's still going 18th overall. But I won't be surprised if Delane goes a little later than expected. I first sort of fell for him when he's still at Virginia Tech. And he is really good at all the things you'd ask a corner to do. I just wonder if some of the other guys are starting to sort of rise a little bit, and he's sort of staying the same, at least in people's minds. Now, Delane could go as early as, 7, I guess, in some worlds. But I think this is where he won't go beyond this. I think somewhere to 18 is his range.
Yeah. All right. Randall, who do you have the Panthers taking?
I got the Panthers adding a weapon to make sure that Bryce Young can be more offensive except for the fourth quarter and get Jordan Tyson.
All right. And who did you give him?
I have Jamal McCoy there because in my world he stayed on the board also a little later than expected. I would have taken him earlier, but I could see a world where he makes it to this.
Okay, so now see, Chuba Hubbard is now going to be the number one running back again. Thank you very much. The Canadian is going to be the number one running back for the Panthers again. Where's that little guy go off to? Oh yeah, he went off to the Steelers. Yeah. Okay, whatever. Mr. Dodell. Yeah, he's gone to the Steelers now. But I put C.J. Allen in.
Okay.
I think they want more blood on that defense, even though what they've added is very good.
Yes,
I still think they want more toughness on the defense. And then the 20th pick for the Dallas Cowboys, Mr. Bill. You go ahead and ruin all of Cowboys Nation world because you've already given them the right tackle.
Now, I want to say this. I think that at least one of these players probably finds their way to guard. But if they were both to go to Dallas. Now, Caden Proctor, his best tape is actually pretty good, but his worst tape is very worrying. And, I have to wonder which Caden Proctor you're going to get. But if you get the best version of Caden Proctor, he could probably be a starting left tackle for 8 to 10 years in the NFL. If you don't get the best version of Caden Proctor, you probably kick him inside. And then, Mayoga stays outside. But one of these guys, if they both got drafted to the same place, is going to end up being a guard.
I don't think either one of them get picked by the Cowboys, however. You go ahead, Randall.
All right, I did not go tackle, so I don't get yelled at this time. I went Clemson, Avion Terrell. So you said they wanted quarterback. They get it. At least I went one DB there. But yeah, that'll sear up that DB.
And I actually selected the big Auburn edge, Keldrick Falk, because again, yes, you got Rashawn Gary, who is not the great pass rushing guy that that former number 11 guy used to be. Keldrick Falk again isn't going to be a guy that goes at the quarterback as often, but he did have 7.5 sacks in his 2024 season. He can get to a quarterback. But again, I think with the 5-man fronts and the 3-man fronts that they're going to run, Keldrick Falk is an excellent fit for those schemes. Because, again, the guy understands how to stop the run. He gets it. He sets a real good edge. And, yes, I then took Max Iananker to the Steelers. Who do you have going to the Steelers? Randall.
I went Chase Basantis. He's my guard, too. I'm a big fan of him. And then they settle up the middle in there. Yeah.
And Mr. Bill?
Same church, different pew. Oliva Vega, Ion is who I have going there. Yeah. So it's same church, just different pew, same position, but just a guy who's isn't as polished as Basantis, because I don't think anybody is as polished as Basantis as a pure technician. But this guy in Ione, you just have more talent, more potential, more, just more power, just not as refined.
Okay. My next pick went to the Harbaugh guys. That's where Monroe Feeling I've got going. You guys had them both going earlier, I think.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
But if he lasts there, I think would that be a lock? Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that.
They would love that if he made it to them. Yeah.
For sure. I went Denzel Boston, another weapon on the outside for Justin Herbert.
I went Spencer Fano in an attempt to keep Justin Herbert upright.
Fair.
Well, there you go. My next pick after that, that's where I decided to help the Eagles. Is I took Lomu there. I put Lomu with the Eagles. They need some offensive line help there.
Mm-hmm. And I went with Caden Proctor for the ability to start inside and potentially move outside. So I think that'd be a good pick for the Eagles.
Yeah.
I'm with Kenyon Sadiq because one of the things that traditionally you find in the Eagles, panoply of fantastic football players is tight ends who can get up the field. And they've had, Ertz sort of passing on to, the lineage. And now you have someone else, who's been carrying it for the last few years. And now it's not quite time. I mean, plus, 12 and 13 personnel is a thing. So I think at least for the next couple of years, they're going to run a lot of multiple tight end sets because, one, they want to run the football. And having 2 or 3 tight ends on the field at the same time can do that. But then you can give that heavy run look and then, oh, my gosh, play action, right? And say what you want about Jalen Hurts. Look at his play action numbers sometime when you're just bored, laying around your house. Maybe you've done cutting the lawn. Look up what he's done, even against some of the best defense in the NFL off play action. He is deadly on play action.
Yeah.
The Super Bowl he lost. Lots of play action, dynamite game.
Yep.
And then with the Browns' next pick, I decided to give them Amari Cooper's baby brother, Omar Cooper Jr.
I did the same.
And so did I.
Can you believe this? All 3 of us gave them Cooper Jr.
Makes sense. It's what they need. It works. Inside, outside.
Yep.
Then I think I went
and Houston bad weather football. All the boxes are checked and a good blocker.
Right.
Yep. For the Bears pick, I went a little off the board. I think I took Blake Miller, the offensive tackle from Clemson.
Oh, okay.
I went Akeem Mesidor here for their pass rush.
Yep.
Yeah.
And this is where I dropped Caleb Banks. When the Bears defense has been at its best, it has at least one truly monstrous, disruptive D tackle. If you go back to the 80s, they had, of course, William Frederick Perry right next to, Steve McMichael. They had Tommy Harris, who was on his way to being a great one, and then unfortunately, a bad back ended his career early. They had Akeem, speaking of Canada, the big Canadian they got from free agency years ago from the Saints. Big Canadian.
Yeah.
Was Akeem spelled A-K-I-E-M?
I-E-M. I'm trying to remember who he was.
I'm seeing everything about him but his last name. I can tell you how much he weighed. 6'4", and he was 6'4" and 1/8. He was 316 pounds. Well, the point is that's the last time they really had
Hicks.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's it.
Thank you. But they haven't had that guy since. That was a while back.
Yep.
That has been the real weakness of the Bears defense for some time. They've tried people from Eddie Goldman to the other guy who reminds me of Eddie Goldman, who also wasn't good. Ego Ferguson. A lot of guys.
Absolutely right.
And none of them have been consistent or good, really.
Yep.
Caleb Banks has never been consistent, but he's occasionally been good. And I feel like
that's why I sent him off to Cincinnati at pick 10. I'm sorry.
I felt it was a little rich earlier for him.
Formula.
But hey, I know Peter Woods is always this guy that everybody's talking about, but Caleb Banks is the one guy I am excited to see in an NFL team.
I get what you're saying. I
wanted him to go to Cincinnati.
I've stood right next to Caleb Banks, and wow, is he physically impressive.
Yep.
And he's incredibly athletic for a man his size.
Yep.
But unfortunately, when I go back and watch the tape, I'm reminded that
he's my one guy that I went with off of our RAS.
Just vibes.
Yeah.
Vibes.
Yeah.
No tape, just vibes.
Where else did you go with vibes but Cincinnati, Ohio? That's a good place.
That is the city of vibes after all. Vibes and chili. That's what they're doing.
That's right. Mr. Randall, your Buffalo Bills. Who did you take?
I took Casey Concepcion. He is.
How did that happen?
I think with DJ Moore. Yeah, I think with DJ Moore, it fits well on the outside. Now you have Kincaid and Shakir who can run option routes in the slot. You have 2 guys on the outside. DJ Moore does not bring that third level burner anymore, but he can still get contested catches. Casey Concepcion can be that separator who has that separation on go balls.
And who did you give them, Bill?
Akeem Mesidor. I think that, well, as silly as it is, that's silly, but as we can always argue about like how much age matters, and it's one of the things that gets discussed a lot. If Akeem Mesidor were 22 years old, there's no way he makes it to this pick, but he's not. Mm-hmm. He'll be 25 by the time the season starts. And while there are teams that will say to themselves, hey, if I have a job in 6 years, I'll be thrilled, which is true. If you're a general manager, you put together 6 good years, you're having a good run. So some guys, but the good news is that teams that are trying to win now care less than teams that aren't going to be good. And those teams that aren't going to be good for a while tend to pick earlier. Yeah. So this is where a team that is trying to win now gets a guy you can win now with, because there's not much more you need to do with Akeem Mesidor. Tell him where the facility is, acquaint him with your strength and conditioning staff, make sure he has a good place to live, and boom. I mean, he's extremely smart. He's extremely well coached. He's very developed, both as a technician and physically. I mean, partially because, of course, his age. Yeah. There's not a lot you need to do, right? Teach him your system, teach him your nomenclature, and go.
And I agree. Randall. And I think he would really fit in that outside linebacker role that Leonard is changing in the defensive scheme as well. So you're almost getting like a perfect piece that you need at that point.
Yeah. Who did you give to the 49ers, Randall?
I went with Peter Woods here. I think they could get in the interior, and it's kind of a steal for me at 27. Yeah, I think he's better than 27. So it's a BPA, and 49ers really do BPA a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And who did you give them, Bill?
That's where I have Blake Miller going.
Blake Miller? Okay.
Yep.
I have the big boy from Alabama, Mr. Proctor, going there. That's where because Mr. Williams may not be around much longer.
Yeah.
Right. So again, if you want a big left tackle, that's Caden Proctor. So he goes to the Niners. Then I gave the Houston Texans Kenyon Sadiq.
Oh, okay.
I had him dropping.
Got it.
Texans were hard for me overall because they need offensive line.
Yes.
And I do think that there's going to be such a big offensive line run for the people who need it before.
Yep.
So Emmanuel Pregnon just kind of fell in.
Houston, you call me at pick 12. You give me 28, 38, and your third round pick, and they're all yours at pick 12. That's it.
I mean, I think their defense is so good then what they did with drafting both Higgins and Knoll, I would see a world where they do trade up, so they need the piece. They get the piece that they want. That makes a lot of sense. I got stuck with Emmanuel Pregnon because I didn't know what to do. This was my hardest pick, the Houston Texans at 28.
Yeah. And who did you give them, Bill?
Max Iheanacho, who I in this world, he makes it to. The funny thing is, people were arguing about whether or not he was a top 50 player not that long ago.
Yeah.
But the tackle thirst is real. So he's been being ooched up the board. And probably the next time we do this, I'll probably have him in the top 20 the next time we do this. But every time, he's discussed. He's always discussed slightly higher than the last time I heard him discussed.
I need a soccer film. I need to see a soccer film.
He can move for a big dude. Yeah, he can move.
And then with the Chiefs' second pick, I've got them taking a big DT, Caden McDonald.
Oh, okay.
I think they need a run stopper.
Yeah, I can see that.
Hard to argue.
Yeah, I think they're just going to immediately try and clean up the DB, and I went Tennessee Colton Hood.
Well,
there you go.
Yeah.
You got a boundary. You got your safety.
Yep. And who did you give the?
Yeah. So once again, same church, different pew. Avion Terrell is who I have going there.
Okay. Yeah. And for Clarence Hill and Jane Slater and all you Texas fans out there, blah, blah, blah. He's not going to be a Cowboy. I'm sorry, but it's Anthony Hill Jr. who's going next to the Broncos.
Oh.
lost linebackers. That makes sense.
Yep.
I went with, because they were losing John Franklin Myers, even though different body type, I went Caden McDonald there to put in the middle. Way different body type, but need somebody in the middle.
Yep. And who did you give to the Broncos, Bill?
Ditto. Follow that cab.
Caden McDonald.
There we go.
The Patriots, I gave them Cassius Howell.
Oh.
Same. I am surprised that they did not re-sign Clavon Chason.
Yes.
I'm not. No, because Chason has been a dud of a player from his draft class onward.
I think
what I've heard about Chason is that he is a bad dude in that locker room.
Oh, really?
I think maybe we've heard the same things. What I have heard is that he has to be handled, right? And if you're willing to give him a certain amount of attention, support, love, whatever you want to use, he'll turn it all the way on. But he definitely is a guy that can sometimes go into a bit of a shell.
Do you think Mr. Vrabel is going to be a hand holder? I don't think so. That's why
he has coached him hard at times, but yes, hand holder is not the term you would use.
Yeah,
he's gotten some good things out of it. Like I think this last year has been the best year of his career. Yep. So you could argue that the arrow is pointed up, but he has to be coached. Like he has to be coached a certain way.
Yeah. And who do you guys have going to?
I did Cassius Howell as well. I think they need pass rush. I was surprised that they didn't really attack as much in free agency in all departments. So they need pass rush.
And that's why he's there instead of Chason. That's why he's going there. That's the bottom line.
And this is where I had Casey Concepcion going. Obviously, they also have had a rather notable subtraction from their wide receiver core, as some of you might have heard. So,
who wonder? Trayvon Diggs' older brother. Stephon. Okay,
in case you hadn't heard. I know way up there in Canada, it might not have reached you yet, but but they get to some extent a guy who does some of the same things, but does them faster and younger and cheaper. In Casey Concepcion, and last but not least, gives you one of the better. I think he'll end up being one of the top 4 or 5 return specialists in the NFL right out of the box. Also.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and who did you give to the Super Bowl champion Seahawks, Bill?
Randall Cisse. For a long time, when we said Seattle corner, it meant a guy who was 6'3", 6'2", 205, 211, big. They have shifted slightly their approach to playing defense. So they don't mind size. Don't get me wrong. And he's not tiny, but he stretches the imagination. But now they value different things. Yeah. And Brandon Cisse brings those things. Ball skills, balance, solid tackling. I mean, they're always going to care about tackling. When Seattle, at least, always cares about tackling. But he is able to even kick inside and play over the slot when asked. Mm-hmm. And he's got the foot quickness and recovery speed that a lot of those quote-unquote Seattle corners lacked.
Yep. Yeah. And who did you go with, Randall?
I went with Cisse as well. I think that's perfect to be able to go inside and outside. I had a third round. I had an early third round grade on Cisse in summer scouting. So he's my darling. I will not leave him out of first rounders because I nailed that one.
I had him going in the second round, and he did make it into the first round with me here as well.
Right.
So again, we do share some similar picks, which is highly unusual. But again, in this type of a draft, there are just certain guys that fit certain teams.
Right.
And that's where they're going to end up. And again, I don't care if your team drafts a safety. I don't care if they draft a linebacker. I don't care if they draft a guard in round 1, kids. They're all important players. Yep. You don't need to have a left tackle, a quarterback, a wide receiver, or a corner taken. You don't need to go to that level. Yeah. If you notice, Malachi Lemon is not on my list. I didn't find a place for him.
Huh. I got you. I understand what you're saying. And there's CJ Allen. There's a guy I really, really like. I just couldn't find a home for him. I think he goes, if I were to continue, I think he would go really quickly in the next round.
Yeah.
There's a couple of guys I really like who I just think, you mentioned Pregnon. I think 2 of the first 3 picks are probably CJ Allen and Emmanuel Pregnon. I think those guys go very quickly in the second.
Mm-hmm.
They're the kind of guys that somebody might trade, who maybe already picked, might trade back into the back end of the first to get to, because they're that kind of players. But as long as if you like linebackers, woof.
Right. It was KC and CJ Allen for me at Buffalo, because Buffalo needs a Mike. CJ Allen's that guy, and he can flow in between off ball with Terrell Bernard.
But I had to give Josh Allen another weapon. Because that's more important. You always have to give Josh Allen a weapon.
Don't get me started on this. Listen, Josh Allen's contract is very, very high. If you haven't heard this from Brandon Bean a million times, you can't spend everywhere when you have a contract like Josh Allen.
And Josh did what with his contract today?
He did restructure.
Yeah. 12. Well, Brandon Bean writes it in his contract, so he does not need to ask any player be restructured. He's allowed to do it whenever he wants.
And that's what most of the first rounders get anyway. Now it's all done in their contract. Yes, you're going to get you're going to get this, and it's going to be a void year, blah blah blah.
Except Joe Burrow. I think Joe Burrow is the only one of the top 10 or top 8, whatever quarterbacks who doesn't have like that automatic.
How do you feel if you're Joe Burrow? You've got Hendrickson coming at you twice, TJ Watt twice, Myles Garrett twice. Yep, my legs are going to be real good this year.
And he almost had Max Crosby twice, but maybe the Steelers throw their hat in the Max Crosby. So just to make sure that Joe Burrow gets completely obliterated. But it's gonna be interesting.
It is going to be very, very interesting. I'm going to ask you guys, do you want to do top 10 corners next week? Top 10 corners.
Yeah, that's going to be mega high variance. So I love that.
Yeah.
Or do you want to do the top 10 wide receivers?
Oh.
Are we doing the top 10, whichever one the week after? Is that accurate?
Okay. Yeah. So, I mean, as you know, I have somewhere between draftable to prior to undrafted free agent grades, and of course draftable grades on about at least 25 corners, and then another 5 or 6 guys who I think will stick around in some sort of capacity. This is a really nice corner group.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
And again,
let's do corners.
And we'll do the top 10 corners next week, everybody. And you heard us, top 10. We're not going to do a 5. It'll be the top 10 corners next week. And then we'll do the same thing for the wide receivers the week after.
Nice.
Wide receivers is not as deep a class as people think it is, but there are still some very good guys who will be going in the second and third rounds as well. I mean,
I like the second tier of receivers.
Yeah.
Because it's deeper than the first tier.
Yeah.
And at least 2 or 3 of the receivers in the second tier will end up outplaying 2 or 3 of the guys in the first tier.
I will.
Agree.
Mr. Randall and I will now announce that Elijah Surratt will have a better season than Omar Cooper.
Yeah, for a rookie year, I will.
Yep.
I'll put my foot down on that as well. I do believe that that's the case.
And there's a guy who's in the second tier, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's a guy. I have a guy in the second tier also that I think will outproduce a bunch of guys in the first tier too.
And Jordan Tyson still scares me because of his injury history. I'm not a huge Jordan Tyson guy. Malachi Lemon, I was looking for a spot for him. I was going to put him with the Jets, but then no. Tyson already has the injury, and he's going to play at MetLife. So there you go.
Yeah, I mean,
I got to guess on yours, Bill, in your second tier. Is it the kid from Mississippi State?
I like him too, but I'm talking about someone bigger, not quite as fast, but bigger and stronger, and started his career at Division II, and then.
Nice! I knew you were high last year on Knoll, so I was curious because I don't see them similarly, but their route running and their deceleration is so prime, and that's where I try to connect the dots.
Well, I do. I mean, that is a player I like. And if you wanted me to give you a guy that people don't have first round grades on, but it can up in the first, that's a guy, right? That the whole world thinks he's like a mid to late second or early third. But if he ends up going in the first, I won't be shocked.
So Joel wants to know where we have Austin Leosau going.
Oh, okay. I mean, I think he's a mid to late day 3 guy. I think best case scenario, and once again, pro day will help to sort of inform this. But I could see him if he had, especially he's solid on tape. He has a great pro day, and the versatility could push him towards like the late 5th, down into the 7th, depending upon, like I said, pro day, and then obviously who goes ahead of him. I mean, there's so many things that
I've got him going early 6.
I could see that. Yeah, once again, that's in the range I talked about.
Yeah, and when we talked to him, he was taking snaps at center, which I love with that versatility. And look at what the center market's doing right now and what the demand in centers. I think he's a good piece in the 6th round.
Yep.
Yeah. I can't believe you guys got Connor McGovern for 4 years.
What a steal! What a steal!
Yeah.
Oh man, I mean, kudos. It's hard to say. I love that Josh Allen is willing to do anything for the city of Buffalo. I don't know if I'm the biggest fan of him making phone calls consistently to players being like, you do want to come here. It seems like a little attention grabbing. Like he called Parayko when he had to waive his no trade clause to come from the Blues to the Sabres. And I'm like, that seems a little needy. Like, I don't like that for the city of Buffalo.
Yeah.
It seems weird, right?
What are you doing with the hockey team, Josh? You have not been to the Super Bowl yet, Josh. Stop talking about hockey. Worry about the football team, Josh. But again, Josh Allen.
Who's at fault is the person is Terry Pagula. Terry Pagula called Josh Allen, was like, will you call him? And Josh is going to say yes. Pagula, stop doing that.
I hope he can make more calls. I hope he gets involved in everything. I hope he's doing soccer players.
Just doing taxes.
Yeah. Maybe calling guys that SUNY Buffalo's interested in, try to get some guys to sign up for, play for the Bulls. Do it all. Call everybody.
Yeah, there you go.
Haley is pregnant, isn't she? She's pregnant right now, right?
Yes. Do over the summer.
So when the baby comes, there's no more phone calls.
Good point. Yeah. I would like that University of Buffalo, because I would like Josh Allen to make a call for Red Murdoch. But anyways, I digress.
Yes. Wow. Yeah. No. I've already taken him away from you, and you know this.
I know you are. He's a steal wherever he ends up.
Yeah.
Exactly right. All right. So next week, folks, we'll have the corner class, and it'll be our top 10 instead of a top 5.
Yep. And not to remove the suspense, but my top 10 that is posted on Team MBS has not changed. It's still the same 2 guys.
Well, there you are. Right.
Yeah.
So, join us again next week. Do subscribe and like the channel. That's always an important thing, is for people to like the stuff that we're putting out there and to subscribe. And enjoy the rest of free agency.
Yes.
Make some moves.
Oh, Sam Howell is now the QB3 for the Cowboys as well.
Oh, I've always liked Sam Howell. I don't think he'll ever be like a full-time starter anywhere, but he has elements like that excite you. Like he's got a little bit of like some of the Baker Reagan Mayfield things to him, like
arm arrogance.
Right. Yeah, arm arrogance, and even just like a little bit of like unearned athletic arrogance, right? Where he thinks he can outrun.
When Sam Howell was playing his best for UNC, who was his running back? Oh yeah, Javonte Williams.
Yes.
Oh man.
Yep.
Love Javonte Williams.
Yeah, he's a fun player.
All right, guys.
Yes, sir.
Care.
See you in a week.
Thank you.
We'll see you everybody next week. Take care.
Okay. Good night.